Hello, my name is Matt, and I am the director at Sunny Digital, an online advertising agency based in the Sunshine Coast. Looking at search engine optimization, and in terms of a bit of an overview about the difference between what you might have heard, the acronyms of SEO, PPC, SEM, so on and so forth, it can get a bit confusing. So just wanted to highlight the difference between SEM and SEO, which would be two of the main terms you would have heard. So, best way to do this is just have a look at what's called the SERPs or search engine result pages, which is what you see here on the left. So, if we take an example term of pressure washing Sunshine Coast, what you can see that will automatically pop up here in red are ads. So, SEM, search engine marketing. What you can see pop up here in the orange are local listings. So you would have heard Google My Business before, Google local listings. That's what's here. And they're not paid ads. They can be, and you can add what's known as local and directory extensions to your paid ads, which will help you get higher up in the maps listings. And then what we see here is what's more so commonly referred to as SEO. So organic results influenced by search engine optimization. And it's important to note how all these work. So you're paying for these the second someone clicks on your ad in the red there. These orange ones here, combination of can be an ad, otherwise it will feature what Google believes to be one of the closest relevant results to you, along with a bunch of other factors, which we'll touch on in a second. And then these organic results. So in this example here, for the keyword pressure washing Sunshine Coast, Google believes sunshinepressurewash.com.au to be the most authoritative website reflecting that keyword on this day for me in the search results, which is why they get position number one. So, in terms of how to get position number one, and it's important to note you're never going to be position number one for every single keyword under the sun. So, it's important to note what you want to be position one for, which can be a combination of search volume as well as relevance. If you run a pressure washing business, you might not want to be found for window washing. It might be a low margin product for you, and you might want to put all of your focus, time, and energy into driveway pressure washing, for example. It's important also to note the competitiveness of terms. So to rank number one for pressure washing Kawana waters versus just pressure washing is going to be much, much different. So to rank for a long tail keyword, which is very relevant to your business and you will have a lot of content around, it's not easy, but it will be much, much easier than ranking for a very broad, generic, and competitive keyword such as pressure washing. So, what are some top level things that you need to be across to ensure that you have good SEO? First thing is technical foundations. So, Google and any other search engine for that matter is crawling all websites that are within their reach every single day. So, they need to be able to crawl your website quickly and efficiently. So, consider what your website is built on. Does it have a good load time? All of these things play a part in how Google and other search engines view your website's technical foundations, which will influence your organic listing. Website navigation. If you find it hard to navigate your own website or your customers do, then chances are so does Google. URL structure. So we've got an example there again for pressure washing, but it needs to be in plain English, but also descriptive. So instead of having pressurewashing.com /page one, you'd really want to get unique and granular with your content. So you might have pressurewashing.com /driveways Kawana waters. And then you might have a different page, which is the same, but /Maroochydore, for example. Your CMS, content management system, as I mentioned. So if you're using something like WordPress or Shopify, then you'll have a lot of options in the back end to go in and impact the basic building blocks that form the technical foundations of your website's SEO. If you use a really customized solution or something not so off the shelf, this could be a little bit more difficult for you to do. If you do have that, I'd recommend chatting to the web developer that built the site for you and seeing how they might be able to help influence your SEO. Local business setup as well. So if you haven't done this already, you can do this online via Google so that you can get in those maps listings as well. Content is the second major building block of having good SEO and getting visibility in the organic listings. So you want to have your content talking about things that people may be searching, and you should really try and write it for a human. Don't try and write it for a computer. Back in the day, one what we call black hat SEO mechanisms was to make keywords the same color as the background of your page and stuff them in there so that you could trick the search engines into thinking your website was the most authoritative source for that keyword. They have very much gotten onto that, as well as many other different practices that aren't ethical in the eyes of Google. So, the best way to have good SEO from a written content standpoint is to be natural, be authentic, write it as if you're talking to your audience, but also have a little bit of a lens over it of, I want to be found for keyword A. Does that keyword appear in my content? If not, consider getting it in there, but again, through a natural way to do that. Internal linking, very important. If you have a page talking about pressure washing driveways, and then you have another page which is a product that someone can buy and DIY themselves, there's a chance that those two pages could be related. So let the search engine know they are by linking to the product in the content page, for example. And then consistent content production. If you built your website and have never gone back to it, never published a blog, never updated your content, Google knows this, as do other search engines, and they're likely to reward other websites that are consistently feeding a blog, a news section, a resource section, or whatever it may be. The final component of SEO building blocks that you should be aware of is links. So the way links work is if you have another website that links to your website on the internet, Google looks at this as a vote of trust or a vote of confidence. So it's really important, if you can, to capitalize on other businesses that might already be talking about you. Try and get them to actually link to your website. It's really important to note, though, that not all links are created equal. So you can go out there and buy a bunch of links, but if they're coming from not so authoritative sources in Google's eyes, it can actually harm your SEO. And then think about, why would someone link to your website? Do you have a good resource that can help people? Do you have a tool, a widget, some sort of calculator? Are you providing value? If not, then maybe consider that before going down the link building path.